All right, a little late getting this done this morning. Been kind of busy with some stuff, if I can talk. But I want to do another daily reading. Have it? Yeah, I'm just getting into doing these again. Um, my box I use in this box that sits here on my desk. Tarot Illuminati. This is the standard deck, the smaller deck. I've got the larger decks, but uh, these shuffle better for me. Anyway, what I want to do is actually, while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and explain a little bit about what I really do, and I get this from doing like mediumship readings and stuff like that. I really normally do this before I turn on the camera or anything like that, but I want to go ahead and do kind of explain a little bit. Now, there's different ways you can do things and so forth, but my methods um, that I use is basically because of mediumship, and a lot of times when I do tarot readings and stuff like that, I end up in a mediumship reading. Because once I kind of get that connection, get moving and get in the flow of everything, it starts to come through. So anyway, um, now just recently, here a few months ago, I decided to take a course which I never had for mediumship. I wanted to learn more about it and do some stuff like that. So I learned some stuff and some different techniques that I like to use. So anyway, what I normally do is, first of all, I sit down, relax myself, and breathe for a moment. Pay attention to my breath. Deep breath in all the way into your lungs. Actually, your stomach should come out, not just your chest, because deep breathing goes with your stomach. And breathe out through your mouth. Do a few good deep breaths. Now, you can use number wise. A big thing that I used for a long time was 7 in, 7 out, or 7 in, hold for 7, 7 out. There's a lot of different ways and techniques. I've seen so many. It's really basically, I think, what works best for you, what you're comfortable with. So anyway, I do that, and then my old way was I always imagined a light from above coming down and surrounding me. And I would always say, I am surrounded by the pure white light of God and Goddess. Nothing but good shall come to me. Nothing but good shall go from me. Thank you for your help in the past. I ask that you help me now, especially if I'm doing readings, to guide this person as well as possible. I give thanks, or just I give thanks. So there at the end, I'm surrounded by the pure white light of God and Goddess. Nothing but good shall come to me. Nothing but good shall go from me. I give thanks. And immediately, as I say that, because I'm conditioned to do that, I feel my body immediately start to calm. You said these are like you're going to learn in hypnosis or NLP or anything. You begin to set triggers. Like when I pick up my deck, I trigger and start to immediately drop into a different altered state. It would be at alpha or sometimes even down to a theta. I've done so much meditation and stuff like that for so many years that I can do very, very deep meditations and stay conscious while most people fall asleep. I mean, I'll do meditations like at 1.5 hertz, which is a delta state, and a lot of people are normally in a nice, pretty good sleep in that state, and I'm still conscious. Not always, but either way. Anyway, yeah, I do the light. But the big thing is protection. Protect yourself. And I really suggested doing any type of reading because, that way you keep out anything negative or anything that could maybe influence you or whatever. I don't really have an issue. I've never had issues really with negative things. I've experienced them before. It's been a while. But either way, you surround yourself with like a ball of energy. Like a protective bubble you put around yourself. Now, normally I use this light as this, but then the newer techniques that I'm using now is this protective bubble, And then on top of it, I think of a net. Now, me personally, I like a very, very tight net. Now, your bubble, backing up to it, a lot of people have a tendency to see protective energy in either white or gold. So, your choice, whatever works for you. I've always used the white, and I think it's because of what I learned in the beginning. But I'll use that protective bubble, and then I'll think of like a net that goes around the bubble for extra protection. And but I think of a very close net, almost like a screen. I mean, that's just me. It depends on whatever you want to do. It's just extra protection, and I think of it being more of like a kind of a metallic type net or whatever. And I make that gold. And then because of spiritual work and guides and stuff that like that, having a very very strong connection with roses, you can use roses. And I think of white because again, white, a big thing with me when it comes to protective light and everything. But that entire bubble around you being all covered in white roses. That's just my thing. That's how I do it. But you do need to, if you're especially mediumship, it's different tarot readings. I just do this because I get a better connection with cards and stuff like that when reading for other people. Um, it seems to be a more pure connection. Anyway, I do that, and then you mentally, with your eyes closed, think of mentally kind of go over this bubble, look over the whole bubble, look for any holes in it, any rips, any tears that could be in it. And what this will come from is energies, dealing with negative energies or anything that you've dealt with. Say you've had a bad day and somebody's made you mad or whatever, and this kind of makes holes or tears in our protective energy, in our personal energy. So the big thing I do with that is you mentally go over, and I don't physically do it with my hands. You can. Some people do. From a course that I've taken. But I see more of my astral self reaching out and going and reaching and feeling all around this entire bubble. And, patching, using your hands to patch any of those tears within this thing. Me, I just do the entire thing all the way around, all over, make sure I just do a thorough over the whole everything to make sure I get it. So because if you take your time, you get used to energy and stuff like that, eventually what happens is you're able to pick up if there are certain areas you're drawn towards that seem like there may be a dark space in your mind's eye, your third eye, and so forth in that area, and that's something you need to clear up. So anyway, I do that, and then I'll go into immediately grounding. I will think of now. Oh, and I've got a towel on the back of my chair here that's moving. But anyway, there's different methods. Now, what I used to always do is bring light down and through me. So a lot of people work with just the earth energy of grounding. And I think of this starting at the very bottom near your root chakra. This would be right by your genital area. But a cord or energy. Now, one thing I like to do is, and this is me personally, and I'm saying this kind of bouncing around a bit because I've learned so many different techniques, but first of all, center. Your heart chakra is your center. But I think of that being a light, and there being a light and a little speck of light, and that light growing and growing and filling my chest, my entire chest area, my entire chest cavity, and spreading out, and then going down through my legs and up through my entire body until my entire body is like white glowing energy. But I use that as the centering, the center part, and then I think again down by the root chakra that a cord that's coming out of me. Now you can use I've used thinking of roots going into the ground from my feet. I've done that quite a bit, but I do like this cord method because I like to now use what a lot of people in Reiki use, which is running energy, which is both male and female energy. I like that connection very, very well. So anyway, the mother, the earth, is going to be more of a female energy. So what I do is think about down root chakra and a cord coming out a white silvery cord, and it goes down into the earth all the way to the core of the earth and kind of wraps itself around the core and then comes back up and then back into your body where your root chakra is, and then it begins to move up. I always move it towards my heart, the center, and then I think of the cord coming down through the top of my head down in my body and meeting with this cord. Now what you're going to do is think of loving, nurturing, such as a mother and so forth, energy coming up from the earth. As it goes down, what goes down that cord is all the negativity. Thinking of negative energy, releasing negative energies, getting rid of those negative energies and releasing them into the earth so the earth can take them and do what it has to do and help balance and turn it into positive energy and so forth. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is a technique that I learned that I absolutely love for clearing energy also. But this is another way when you're doing the grounding. But I get myself, again, the light. I know I'm bouncing around here. Different ways you can do it. But I see that light coming down and these two energies meeting and then again spreading out through my entire body. Then I think of myself, and this is another way to remove negativity. One I learned from a course that I'd taken that I liked really well. It's called the screen door. And what you do is think about a screen door like the older ones, but doesn't have like the wood center in it. The entire door being one big screen mesh. And you think of yourself standing in front of this door. Now, what you're going to do is step through your astral self through that screen. And what that screen does is any negativity that's in your body or what's left over of what you did in dispersion in the earth. Again, like I said, you can do just this or just the grounding with the earth. But it filters. That's what it does. It takes it out. It removes it and sticks to the screen. And then you'll see another screen, but a finer mesh screen. And you step through it, so more gets collected, and it pulls it out of you as you step through it. And then I go through a third. Now you can go through as many of these screen doors as you'd like, but the third one being super fine, and I go through it, and it filters out what's left. And then you turn around in your mind's eye and see like an energy that comes out. I use my right hand because it's the energy that comes out of your body, but and I was taught purple, so I use that, and purple, energy that comes out and goes over. You go over all of these doors, and it removes all that negativity that's stuck within this screen, and back out into the universe. So it, with thought, that it takes it and uses it as it will, or returns it back into positive energy. But anyway, I do that. These are things that I do, and these are things that I do before I go into work and do readings and stuff. Chakras are extremely important. They're your energy centers, and if you haven't worked with them before, I highly suggest doing it, because you're going to find out your readings really start to take off when you start to work with your energy centers. And a lot of anything that deals with divination or this type of work, you're going to be dealing with. A lot of people think, well, it's your imagination. A lot of stuff, when I was younger, I used to think, maybe I've got mental problems and it's my imagination, especially with the medium stuff, until I got the guts to start talking to people and say, hey, I had to do it for myself, basically to see if I was crazy. I mean, if I needed psychological help, stuff that I would pick up, and yeah, it was correct. I was picking up people who had passed on. So, details, things I can never know, so that kind of came about. So it's the same with the chakras. Chakras are energy centers, are colors of the rainbow. That's because of the fact that it has this particular energy level that we live on: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. There are centers within your body, and now I think scientifically they've actually they know these energy centers within your body actually do exist. So that helps with someone who may be skeptical about it and so forth. But what you do is you think about opening these up, and I try to open them up as much as I can. Now, your chakras are always a little bit open. Some people say, oh, you close them down. You don't ever close them down, because these are your energy centers, the energies that run through our body. If they completely close all of these energy centers, you're going to have all kinds of, or just some of them, you're going to have a lot of issues and problems. It could be mental issues, physical issues, or whatever. And if all of them actually closed completely, you'd be deceased, because that's how the energy runs through your body. It keeps your heart going, keeps everything going. So those don't completely close. Afterwards you can close them down, or if you leave them open, they will on their own close down. You'll read different things about it from from my personal experience, and then also from other places that I've learned, they will close down if you forget to shut them down. So anyway, you start at the bottom, and it's going to be around your general area, very bottom of where you're sitting. Okay, you've already got the light, and you're grounded, and the screen door and everything, and you're protected. You feel this energy, see red, and see it expanding and growing. The entire time, I'd say, while you're doing all of this, don't allow your mind to wander. Focus on your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. I'm talking everything from bringing in the energy, everything. This gives your mind something to focus on and doesn't allow it to wander all over the place. The different things that doesn't need to wander. The one thing, especially with mediumship or psychic ability or anything like that, when you're working with stuff like that, the big thing, the problem is our minds wander. They're busy. They're constantly trying to pick up stuff, giving us all kinds of stuff. Your mind just constantly stays busy. So when you focus on something such as your breath or your breathing and maintaining on that, this allows your mind to have freedom to open, and your subconscious to open and send you messages, kind of like having a dream while you're awake. And that's how I experience a lot of stuff. Cards are different. I'm just giving these techniques because of the fact that they seem to work and enhance me, as far as tarot goes, enhance what I use. And I should have laid these out and wrote them out. I just turned on the camera and started going because I didn't prepare. Anyway, so you open your root chakra, the red, and all these are going to spin in a clockwise manner. And you see this red ball of energy open up, and you see it spinning. When you relax with that, now the grounding cord that you have coming through there, that is in and connected with that. I like to see it, and then it moves up to the next one, which is going to be right below your navel. This energy center is going to be orange, and you see the same thing. Visualize it. You feel it grow, and try to expand it out as far as you can, and it beginning to spin at the exact same speed as the red one. I try to make them all the same equal size as possible. The next one you're going to go up is going to, that's your sacral. Next one is going to be your solar plexus. Your solar plexus, with me personally, I find where your rib cage comes together right there at the bottom, seems to be, I'm going to say an inch. For me personally, it's right in that area, about an inch below where your chest, your ribs come together at that point right there, about an inch below there. And I see a yellow light. Now I feel it in my spine, because actually the energies are in your spine, and when you begin to work with them, become more sensitive with them, that's how you're going to feel them. And open that up. Now this is the one that deals with psychic ability and your gut feeling, as far as emotional wise, where a lot of readers use. But let it expand. and again become in rotation with both your red and the orange, your root um, chakra. Now, the next one up is going to be right in the heart area. Now, to me personally, I don't know how other people vision this, but this one always seems to be much bigger as far as this direction than the others. It feels bigger, but that has a whole lot to do with it, because when you focus everything on that heart chakra, that is love energy and so forth, and it makes perfect sense that and it is your central area, that it would be kind of bigger because it's a balancing deal. That's how I perceive it. Anyway, you take that cord that I was talking about. What you're doing is moving this light energy up into each chakra from your root, and stopping there and being part of each chakra as they open up. So the next is going to be the heart, and it's going to move up that white or silvery energy that you have from your solar plexus or the yellow center into the heart, and stop there. And then the green, it's a green energy, and then expands. As this expands, again, it begins to move and turn, perfectly in sync with the red, orange, and yellow. Now next, take that light energy and you move it up. Now this is in your throat, and I'm going to say near more the back of your head, and I feel it just above my eyes and through my throat. Now this deals with your communication and everything. But you move up to that point, and you see a blue. Now this is not a dark blue. This is a lighter blue. I'm going to say more of a sky blue that I get it. And you open this, and you allow this to spin and become in tune, and spin perfectly with the other chakras. Now next, you're going to move up, which is going to be, I'm going to say more of the center of the head and behind, and straight in connection with your pineal gland in the center there of your head, but you'll feel it right up here between your eyes. When you've definitely got it, you'll feel like a tingling or vibration or something going on right there. And this is you'll move this up to this area, and as you open it, you should feel it. Like with all the chakras, you'll feel them within time. You'll feel them. Like I said, just use your imagination. Imagination is a major key into getting to the point to where you physically start to experience these things. Excuse me. So, I go up into my third eye. The color of this is indigo. Now, if you don't know what indigo is a dark blue. Indigo is like the original color of blue jeans. Dark blue jeans. The color of dark blue jeans is indigo. So it would be that color there. But move the light up into it and watch it grow. Let it grow out and spin at the exact same speed with all the others. Now finally, your third eye is clairvoyance, how you see things. When people say they see and so forth, they see it usually in their mind's eye. Sometimes, from what I've experienced, I am clairvoyant as well. I'll experience things at times, either like watching a movie screen or something that is so strong that I feel like it's about to appear, or I see it outside of myself. So anyway, this video is getting very, very long. The next one, you're going to move up the white light. It's top of your head here. And this is going to be a violet, a purplish color. Now, some people like to say it's white. I've always used violet, so that's just what I use. I think it all depends on what you learned or where you're from. I've always seen it personally as violet, and that's how I experience it. So that's how I do it. But anyway, it's a violet color, a purpley color. And the same thing. It's more going to be about 6-8 inches above your head, and begins to open up and move and rotate at the same speed of the other chakras. Now, read different books, different thoughts and stuff about chakras. This works. This works for me. It works well for me. But some will say, well, one chakra spins one way, the other spins another way. I've always learned they move in that direction for me. So for divination purposes, that's what I use. That's what works for me. There are other chakras. If you want to open up to more of a spiritual connection, so you get more guidance and stuff, you can move up from this area to about 8 inches or so above that. I'm gonna say probably a couple feet above your head in that area, and you can actually open up another chakra. The color of that chakra will be black, and after you open it up, you allow white light energy to come through. This will help if you do use this chakra as well. You don't have to. Just doing what you've already done will help make more of a spiritual connection, higher self, and so forth. So you get different messages and a lot more clear. And also doing it by the time you take in all the oxygen with the breathing and everything. Now this is a quick process. Normally when I do this, it doesn't take me 3-5 minutes at most. Boom, boom, boom. I'm done. I'm ready to roll. But for the purposes of the video here, it's taken probably 20 minutes trying to explain. So anyway, I do this. The black chakra, again, you can open up and allow white energy to come out into the top of your head and into your body. Now, the energies I was talking about coming from the ground previously earlier and coming from above and meeting in the middle of this, that's known as running energy. That's where you're using both masculine and feminine. I like that very well. A lot of people just use the earth, but that's just a technique that I learned, and it seems to work very well because of the polarity with it. Anyway, bingo. Now, to my tarot deck. 3-card daily. I just kind of wanted to go through that, and I should probably do a video and really lay this out very, very clear. Exactly how I go through these. These are techniques that you really won't see a lot in tarot books or anything, and it comes more from mediumship and so forth. But I do find by using these methods that it definitely enhances your tarot readings so much more when you make that connection. When you open up your energy centers, you pick up things that you don't pick up when your energy centers aren't open, when you aren't open to receive more connections from a guide or things from without you. As you're looking at the cards, and again, the deep breathing, everything that you've done to that point, your brain operates much, much clearer and better with oxygen. So you've gotten plenty of oxygen, and as deep breathing, automatically your mind starts to calm, and you go into either probably an alpha state with most people. So you're able to be calm and pick up more energy, more messages. And it keeps, everything. It relaxes you, your heart rate relaxes. So let me shut up and focus. This is my daily. I would keep going, but I feel it. See, I feel it. I'll feel it like in my legs. Some kind of a message when it's time to stop. That's how I suggest anybody go until you feel something, physically feel something, or just knowing there's something to stop you. The first one I get is the 4 of Pentacles, and this would be right here. Again, Tarot Illuminati. I'm using the standard deck, and I just want to flop these up. I'm getting immediate impressions of what's going on here and what I'm seeing, because I like to look at the cards. I do know, we all have our meanings if you've been using tarot for a while. If not, I suggest a few good handful of basic meanings. And looking at your cards, look at your cards. What stands out, especially when you've got yourself in this mental state to where things work. So anyway, what actually stands out is the clouds in this Four of Pentacles card. Now the guy stands out in the coin on his head, but clouds. Now these clouds are clear. The rest of the sky seems to be clear. So this card is a lot about, a lot of people say miserliness or greed or so forth. But to me, I usually get this card when it's trying to hang on to money or having to spend money on stuff that you currently feel that you don't have. Now this is also a situation when this comes up can be a problem with learning that you need to let go to receive more, such as especially when it comes to money, because if money is not moving, it can't grow. So, but either way, it's situations saying, well, something the money may have to be spent or something like that on something, or you want to spend money on something because this is upright. I get that being kind of miserly, not spending that money, being able to hold on to it. Now, if it was reversed, that would be having to spend money on something that you really felt that you didn't have. But it's upright, so that's kind of be in that miserly thought or thing. Now, the clouds, I think, is a whole lot of that clouded thought, that feeling of maybe afraid to have to spend money. The clouded mind. A waterfall. There's a waterfall in this. Well, I think it is. No. Something on the building here. But to me, it looked like a waterfall, a stream coming up and down, and that jumped at me. So this is going to tell me, even though this card is more about stability and so forth, because it is Pentacles, there is that strong emotional attachment to it. And what I'm looking at also goes basically real close to, from his head, the guy in the picture, and kind of almost points to the clouds, but I get more of a feeling of it's going up, as if it's going to try to go up to the sky, and it doesn't make it and it drops down. So there is a dropping feeling. There's an up, but a dropping feeling. I have something, but then that dropping feeling that I have to hang on to it so I don't lose it. That's what I get with that. Now, my central card here, I have the Nine of Cups. Now, this is known as the wish card, and this is reversed for me. And this means not getting your wish. So that kind of creates an issue, because of the fact that there's something that I'm trying to do and work on, and I'm not hearing back from anybody on that as of yet. That would be money, because what stands out for me, if you'll see in the card, looks like a coin or something right there, and it's by his pocket. And what I feel with that, that's what jumps out at me, is that that's a coin and his pocket's right there. And that feeling of not getting what you wish, not getting what you want, and then this other card trying to hang on to money and worrying about money and issues right there. That seems to be an issue right there. So possibly something that I really wished for and really wanted isn't quite going to work out to help put money in my pocket, which really sucks. It's also, an overindulgence thing too. Especially sitting by this other card saying you want something, or there's something that's there, because it's sitting beside this Four of Pentacles saying you're having to be miser. You're in a position where you're kind of hanging on to everything, finances and stuff like that, and something you want, and money. Again, the coin is standing out for me on this one this time around. Something you really want and wish for, you can't spend the money on, because you're not getting your wish because of that. Okay, the final card I have here is Eight of Swords. Oh, and I dropped it. And I got to take a close look at this. Again, I always like to look at the pictures before I really go in deep into it. I understand The meaning of this card is a mental feeling, being trapped, being stuck. I can't um, seem to get loose. Swords are air. It deals with the mind, our thought. Our thoughts can be our worst enemies, and especially with this one here. A lot of times I also find with this card, the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords, a lot of the stuff that's going on in your head and you worry about so much turned out not to be quite as bad as you expected. What's, what stands out is there's light over here on these rocks, and that's what's standing out is that specific area seems to draw my attention. And the shape that it seems to take for me is almost as if it's somebody who, a man or something, is sitting down, has his legs up and his arms down, and it looks like he's got something coming out of his forehead. and I don't. For a moment, it looks like a cloud. When I was first looking at it, I'm like, what's going on? But then again, I get it's maybe a projection of thought. That's just how I'm perceiving it right now. So whatever this is, it deals with somebody else, I would say, as if they have control. I feel trapped because an outside person, I'm going to say, or force, but with this it seems to be a person has control. And maybe their mental view of me or somebody around me. When it comes to daily readings, it doesn't have to be you personally, it's you or somebody around you that all of this seems to happen with. And a sword, one specific sword that's standing in front, and it's kind of strange. It would be this one right here. That one right there seems to be stand out to me, and that's where basically there's like a hole there that she could get herself through, but for some reason that, and with the position she's looking that direction, and would be to her left, and the blindfold, and with that sword, it's almost as if this entire situation she's looking in the opposite direction than these other two cards. So saying instead she's mentally trying to ignore this instead of facing up with it and possibly using that sword to cut the ropes to free herself, or step right through there to free herself or something. So that's what I'm going to get with that. That's what I get is even on a conscious level, ignoring this situation over here and feeling stuck, being afraid. What do I do? What's going to happen with me if this don't work out? But these aren't major cards, and what this tells me is something's going to. There's a lot of dark in here with what I'm picking up and the way I'm seeing it. So I just pulled another card because I was told basically pull another card. That's the good thing about opening up everything to get a better message. So what I felt with this is, okay, there's a situation that's happening, that's going on, and you feel stuck. What am I going to do? But then I get, especially with that Eight of Swords, very strongly, it's going to work out. Something's going to work, and it's going to work for your benefit. Just chill out. So I decided to pull another card to see what I had. Bingo. I get the Judgment card. This is your calling. So basically this situation says what this is going to do, it's going to be quick, it's going to be easy, it's going to be done, it's over with. Judgment card is something, bam, it's done, it's over, that quick. Whatever it be, good or bad, but it's also a card of raising yourself up. Almost a graduation, putting yourself on a path of something new and what you're actually supposed to be doing. So whatever the situation is right here and what's going on. And this would be a major card, it's a major arcana card. So this is saying this is what's really going on. You're getting ready to go through a learning process. You're getting ready to grow. And with this card, I get a lot of spiritual growth with it, especially this one. It has, you got an angel in there, and if you're looking more of the Christian aspect, this would be somebody that raises the people coming out of the graves and so forth, raising up to um, a different vibrational energy level, as the final judgment and so forth. But the judgment, a lot of the judgment is personal and self-judgment. So judgment here is very strongly, you're getting ready to learn, you're getting ready to grow, to move up. This is your calling. So whatever bad situation and whatever you're worrying about in that Eight of Swords right there, don't worry about it, because major life change is about to come about. You may not get maybe a job you're looking for. You may not get something that's you're stressed out about, especially with money and getting what you wish, and the stress is on your mind. That's the way it seems here with this one. Now, I haven't used numbers a long time, but using numbers, I would get 21 without the Judgment card, which breaks down to 3. And Empress, again, abundance. Bingo. There we go. And it also deals with a mother and nurturing and growing, but you get a lot of abundance. So 21, and then the number 20, so it's 41. 4 plus 1, there's 5. So there's going to be a lot of difficulties and issues, mental stress that goes on with that. It's what it's whatever I'm drawn to at this current moment. I used to use numbers all the time. I haven't used them in a long, long time, but I'm drawn to it and said use the numbers. Take a look at these numbers and look at what you're looking at. So abundance, and then there's going to be a lot of fighting and busyness. I get a lot of busyness. 5 seems to be more like a Mercury energy, so I get very, very busy. So I'm going to shut this down because I just noticed how long I've actually been on here. But the Judgment card, very, very strongly, inner calling. What you are supposed to be moving forward to and going on. This situation, don't fret it. This is the way it is. It may be a little tough, maybe a challenge or something new that's coming, something new that you have to learn, but you are raising up. Your energy level, everything is raising up. This is your calling. This is something that you have to do. So there we go. That's it. I'm going to leave it because I'm like 42 minutes. I never expected to be that long. I want to do a quick one, but I kind of got into my techniques and stuff like that. So I'm going to shut up, get off here. Everybody have a great day. Anybody that watches this, thank you for watching. And sorry I took so long to do this.